Hello, my name is Michael Ramoser. I'm Associate Publisher of Seattle Business Magazine. We're joined in the studio here today with Tom Everill, the President and CEO of Northwest Center, and we're thrilled to have from out of town Randy Lewis, a nationally known expert in hiring people with disabilities. Randy's recent book, No Greatness Without Goodness, has been called by Fast Company one of 10 new books that you must read this year. And we're so pleased to have Randy with us here today. Randy, as a Fortune 50 executive with one of the nation's largest corporations, you bet your career that Walgreens could ramp up with an inclusive workforce. How'd you do it, and maybe more importantly, why?
Well, everybody has a story, and so I got there completely by accident. We have 3 children. Our middle child, Austin, who is now 26, has autism. He got diagnosed at about age 3. He didn't speak till he was about age 10. The challenges that Austin have are many. He has difficulty carrying on a conversation. He can't divide and multiply, although he's fantastic with arithmetic. He's never been invited to a party, never had a phone call by a peer. I have never played a single game, not even a game of catch in the backyard with my own son. And when it comes to employment, if driving were like the equivalent of a summa cum laude from MIT, a job would be like a Nobel Prize. My other role, I had this job as Senior Vice President of a whole division of 10,000 people, 20 distribution centers across the United States that was growing, that took a lot of my time. We were building a whole new generation of centers, and these were going to be automated more and more and more. Why can't we tweak this automation just a little bit, not spend any extra money to enable a group of people who might not otherwise have a job? That was the premise we started with. And so off we went.
Did it work? Was it just a nice thing to do? Should other people, what did you find out?
Well, if we were going to do this, we had to always remember that we're a business, not a charity. Same standards, performing the same jobs, earning the same pay, side by side, in a completely inclusive environment. That was the vision. And at the same time, without sacrificing anything, we could make a huge impact on the community. Why wouldn't we do this? When I had to go tell all the 5,000 store managers what we were going to do, I took a chance. I looked around the room in the dark there, and I said, if you have a person with a disability that you hold in your heart, or you know a neighbor's kid, or somebody aging, or with a disability, stand up. And the room got quiet. And the person started standing up here, and here, and here, all around the room, and about 1,000 people were standing up. Then the story became not about my story, it was all our story. That's what gave it life.
You talk about the expectation that this would be as good as.
Right.
As good as. And what you found out is it's better.
Right.
And you say, this is the best thing we ever did.
Yeah, when people ask, did it work? It did better than just work. It exceeded our expectations in every way. What we didn't anticipate was the impact on the entire environment and the sense of teamwork. In business, we call it teamwork and engagement. But it really was shared purpose, community, meaning. This was a building like I'd never seen before. Just on the face of the matter, what about performance? People with disabilities, can they perform as well as people without disabilities? We studied it. We studied 400,000 hours of work. We studied 34 jobs. We went across 4 buildings, people with typically able against people with disabilities. Pulled the statistician in. This is what they found. People with disabilities perform as well as people without disabilities. Safety was better. Absenteeism was better. Retention was better. Those are just the facts. Can you imagine a building that's doing mission critical work with a company that has razor thin margins, has to compete with other companies, has demanding customers and demanding shareholders, and that 40% of the workforce in this building has a disability? Most people have never had a job before, or if they had a job, they work for pennies, and that's who's driving this. Would you believe that? But when those kind of things happen, those attitudes will change. And when people's attitude change, maybe more companies will open the door a little wider.
It's really gaining traction in the world, as we just heard from Randy. I hear the same story all the time. Morale has gone up, productivity's gone up, absenteeism has come down. It's an elixir that makes workforces more productive, and it makes people's experience at work richer. So we think at Northwest Center that inclusion is something that companies should embrace, not as a way to give back, but as an expression of enlightened self-interest. It makes companies stronger.